Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I don't know about the rest of you, but this whole Brennan situation has had me shaking my head from the very beginning. Just when I thought I had the story figured out, General Hospital went and turned everything upside down again. That's one reason I've stuck with this show for so many years. It always finds a way to surprise me when I least expect it. And if these latest spoilers are anything to go by, we're about to watch one dangerous mistake change everything, while someone nobody expects could end up becoming the unexpected hero. The way I see it, Ross Cullum is standing at a crossroads, and neither path looks good. For a while now, he's been convinced that Jack Brennan needed to disappear for good. After all, Brennan refused to hand over the code to that mysterious black box, and Cullum has already made it crystal clear that he wasn't bluffing when he threatened to kill him. Around these parts, we'd say, when you back a man into a corner, don't be surprised if somebody gets hurt. That's exactly the feeling I get watching this story unfold. But here's the twist that really caught my attention. Cullum believes Brennan is still completely helpless, unable to move or even speak. From his perspective, Brennan is nothing more than a problem waiting to be cleaned up. The funny thing is, the audience knows something Cullum doesn't. Brennan never received another dose of the paralytic after the first injection. Little by little, he's recovering. He's beginning to talk again, and he's even regaining movement. That changes the whole game, whether Cullum realizes it or not. I also can't stop thinking about Willow's part in all of this. Cullum knows she can't keep receiving those paralytic injections unless someone finds another supply, but he has no clue that Jen Sidwell has already stepped in with his own proposal. Sidwell offered to secure more of the drug in exchange for hiding out in Willow's home, yet Cullum remains completely in the dark. Now that's the kind of secret General Hospital loves to play with. One character makes decisions based on incomplete information, while another quietly shifts the balance behind the scenes. I tell you, that's a recipe for disaster every single time. Because of that, I don't believe Cullum will spend much time worrying about Willow's future. That has never really been his focus. Instead, I think he'll convince himself that eliminating Brennan is the simplest answer. On paper, it probably looks like the smartest move he can make. But if I've learned anything from watching this show over the years, it's that the easy choice usually blows up in someone's face before long. And something tells me Cullum is about to learn that lesson the hard way. The more I sit and think about these spoilers, the more convinced I become that this isn't just another close call for Brennan. No, this feels like one of those turning points that General Hospital loves to build during the summer. I've watched this show long enough to know that when one villain starts making desperate decisions, things rarely go according to plan. In fact, that's usually when fate steps in and changes everything. As we say back home, the best laid plans often go sideways, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's exactly what's about to happen here. What really grabs my attention is the possibility that Ross Cullum simply runs out of patience. He's already threatened Brennan, he's already demanded the code to that mysterious black box, and Brennan hasn't given him a single thing he wants. A man like Cullum doesn't strike me as someone who enjoys waiting around. Every hour Brennan stays alive is another hour that secrets could leak out and everything Cullum has worked for could come crashing down. From his point of view, eliminating Brennan probably starts looking less like revenge and more like damage control. But here's where I think Cullum makes the biggest mistake of all. Instead of handling the situation himself, he may decide to let someone else do the dirty work. That's dangerous in more ways than one. A hired operative doesn't have the same instincts as the mastermind. They follow orders, they focus on the target, and sometimes they overlook the unexpected. If one of Cullum's corrupt WSB agents slips into Turning Woods disguised as medical staff, almost nobody would question it. Patients, nurses, visitors, everyone would assume that person belongs there. That's what makes this prediction so unsettling to me. The greatest danger may be hiding in plain sight. Now, picture Nina walking into that situation without any idea of what she's about to witness. According to the spoilers, she's going to discover something horrifying and react immediately. That tells me she isn't going to stand there frozen in fear. She's going to trust her instincts. You know, that's something I've always admired in people, both on television and in real life. And courage isn't about having a perfect plan. Courage is making a decision in a split second because, doing nothing would be even worse. I can almost imagine the tension building minute by minute. Brennan is still recovering. He's stronger than Cullum realizes, but he's nowhere near strong enough to defend himself against a professional killer. Maybe he notices someone entering the room. Maybe something about that person's behavior doesn't seem right. Maybe he's desperately trying to move. trying to speak loudly enough for someone to hear him, but his body simply won't cooperate fast enough. That's the kind of suspense General Hospital does so well because it reminds us how vulnerable even the strongest characters can become. Then Nina arrives, and everything changes in an instant. Honestly, I think this could end up being one of Nina's finest moments. She isn't acting because she's looking for praise. She isn't trying to become a hero. She's simply refusing to let another human being be murdered right in front of her. Lord have mercy. That's the kind of scene that sticks with viewers long after the credits roll. Whether she tackles the attacker, grabs the deadly syringe before it can be used, or even turns the weapon against the assassin to stop the attack, the result is the same. She saves Brennan's life when almost everyone else believes his fate has already been sealed. There's another reason I find this possibility so fascinating. Nina has spent plenty of time making mistakes over the years. Haven't we all? Some of her choices have divided the fans, and I'll admit there were times I found myself frustrated with her too. But that's exactly why a moment like this would carry so much emotional weight. It reminds us that people aren't defined by only their worst decisions. Sometimes one act of courage can begin changing the way others see them, and maybe even the way they see themselves. If Brennan survives because of Nina, I don't think he'll ever look at her the same way again. Gratitude has a funny way of breaking down walls. Trust doesn't usually appear overnight, especially in Port Charles, where everyone seems to have secrets tucked away somewhere. But when someone literally pulls you back from the edge of death, that's different. That's something neither of you can simply walk away from. I wouldn't expect romance to blossom overnight, but I can absolutely believe a powerful connection starts taking root after an experience like that. And let's not forget Brennan himself. Surviving this attack would prove something important. Despite everything Cullum has planned, Brennan refuses to become another victim. He's been underestimated because everyone believed he was helpless, yet every day he's growing stronger. If Nina helps him escape before another assassin gets a second chance, Brennan suddenly becomes much more dangerous than Cullum ever anticipated. A living Brennan can talk. A living Brennan can expose people. Most importantly, a living Brennan can fight back. That's why I believe Cullum's decision could completely backfire. Instead of erasing a problem, he may end up creating an even bigger one. Failed murder attempts usually leave behind witnesses, unanswered questions, and people determined to uncover the truth. Before long, every move Cullum makes could draw more attention instead of less. And once the cracks begin to show, they have a way of spreading through every corner of Port Charles. When I step back and look at the bigger picture, I don't think this storyline is really about one attempted murder. I think it's about unexpected redemption, shifting loyalties, and the surprising ways lives become connected during moments of crisis. Those are the stories that keep me coming back year after year. They remind me that the biggest twists aren't always explosions or shocking betrayals. Sometimes the biggest twist is discovering who is willing to risk everything to save another person. So if these spoilers play out the way they're pointing, I have a feeling we're about to witness one of the most memorable moments of the summer. Nina could become Brennan's lifeline just when all hope seems lost. Cullum's carefully crafted plan could collapse because of one unforeseen interruption, and a relationship that nobody expected may begin under the most extraordinary circumstances. Folks, if there's one thing General Hospital has taught me over the years, it's never underestimate the power of one brave decision. One moment of courage can rewrite an entire story, and I have a feeling that's exactly what we're about to see.